So, if you guys weren't paying attention to the news last week, Capcom announced that they're going to further fix the netcode. Well, not specifically the netcode, but they're going to fix, the online infrastructure of Street Fighter V. You guys remember they sent us that straw poll about 2 weeks ago or something like that? A lot of people voted for it. It was around the middle or something. Around 50% saw improvements. I personally saw a lot of improvements. A lot of people that we tested with all agree there's improvements. But one of the biggest complaints, and including myself, that I feel like Capcom needs to address next, besides the netcode itself, was the matchmaking. The matchmaking is horrible. And like anyone who watches the stream knows that it takes like we play people from other continents, not just other countries, but continents. And it doesn't make any sense that there's no one else playing in the area at peak hours. Like we're talking like 7 p.m. evening time on the weekend, and we're running into people from Mexico or Brazil when we live in Midwestern Canada. So it's really crazy. There's obviously something wrong with the algorithm for the matchmaking. So that is basically what Capcom adjusted next. But they also say something to do with region as well. But this patch that is already released is all to do with the matchmaking. So here's the information they released today. So like once again, by the time you guys see this video, the patch is already out. It says adjustments to matchmaking conditions for ranked and casual matches. It says, as part of the maintenance performed on March 24th, we've adjusted the distance from opponents and the response time considered when searching for ranked and casual matches. So, like I said, the first thing here says adjusted the distance from the opponents. Now, I'm sort of worried about this because there are some people that have the opposite problem where they live in areas where Street Fighter is so unpopular that they cannot find people playing in their own country, and therefore it's beneficial for them to play people from other countries. But at the same time, with one-sided rollback and the other problems, it causes problems for other people that want to play people from their own country, right? So it's kind of like a double-edged sword kind of thing. But I do think players should have the option of widening the range, and players have the option to, shorten the range, right? So anyone in the chat, any of you guys test out the matchmaking recently? And you guys notice that you're playing people closer to you, or at least within your country? Anyone here? I didn't get a chance to test it out yet myself, so I'll follow up with that later, probably on Thursday. I'll test it up. But the next important thing here is it says connection status 5 improves match quality by matching players with players who are close and have fast response times. Additionally, for connection status 4, these are the options you choose when you're looking for a match. We reworked search parameters and adjusted values to ensure players are matched with users with better connection. So we see here they pretty much, like, the connection 4 to 5 is insane. Like, connection 5, you're looking for, when I go 5 bars, I can't find a match. There's just simply nobody in my area at that high rank, basically, that's playing at the same time I'm playing. So looking for 5 bars at 30 MS, I won't find anything. It says less than 20 now. So they adjusted that slightly. But 4 to 5 is huge. They halved it. 4 to 5 is the most popular connection that people look for to find a good speed. But if you look at this, it's 30, and that used to be 5. So now the 4-5 bars is like looking for a 5 bar. Okay? And looking for a 3 to 5 is like looking for a 4 to 5 before. So I have, like I said, I haven't tested it myself, but I have a bad feeling that I'm going to have to start searching for 3 to 5 now to find a match. I don't think I'll be able to find a person 4 to 5 because, once again, I couldn't find players before with a 5 bar. This is just my personal issue for me because, like I said, I don't have many people when I'm playing in high diamond rank that are in my area. But for people that are in the lower ranks, if you're in bronze, silver, gold, or whatever, and you just like to play, you'll find fast, good connections very, very quickly, or if you live in a really good, popular area. What are you talking about, Sonic? You live in New York, man. You'll be back to back. You'll be sick of having matches so fast. You'll be like, damn, I can't even take a bathroom break and finding so many matches. You're gonna ask them to change it back. So I wouldn't even complain. The connection status to any, it does have an MS rate though. That's interesting. And once again, it's 2 to 5 equivalent. So it says these adjustments apply when searching for opponents and ranked to casual matches only. Obviously, Battle Lounge, there's no choice on that. Now, this extra information is really funny because it's like a slight passive-aggressive way of Capcom saying, you know, if we're going to fix our shit, you fix yours. And they're trying to explain to people, hey, don't use Wi-Fi. We don't care what you say. Even if you say, hey, man, my Wi-Fi is good. It's the same thing. It doesn't make a difference. It does. Okay? It does. So they pretty much show you what these symbols mean. I mean, if you guys have been following Street Fighter V since the beginning, we've already know what these means, whether it's peer-to-peer connection, right? And sometimes if it can't, it will use the Capcom server, or more specifically the Google servers, and then you're screwed at that point. Both of you are going to probably lag. So they're explaining to you which ports. It is nice that they re-explain this. They explain that to make sure that your ports are open. They tell you specifically what ports you want. So just check the link in the video description if you guys want to know the specific ports, if you guys haven't actually done this. I know there's a lot of new players that picked up Street Fighter V because of Champion Edition and the value of it. There's a spike of players. So I guess a lot of people would be interested in this. Yeah, I guess they're looking for more feedback on it as well. Which they're like telling you the 5-bar and stuff and how to set it. This is great. I mean, they should have had this out on day one, actually, but it is amusing that they're going through all of this and they're at least explaining it in great detail on how to set everything up, which is interesting. But yeah, but they don't explain to turn off the vertical sync, though, guys. So that's weird. But honestly, so this is really good news. I want to test it on Thursday, but the bigger news, actually, is they released a balance patch for Street Fighter V, a balance patch. And of course, we'll be going through this more thoroughly as we fully grasp the situation and understand exactly how this changes each character. But there were a lot of nerfs and there were a lot of buffs, and some of them are quite significant. I'll briefly go through them, but we'll do it in another video here where we'll go through the characters in training mode to show you exactly what changes. So a big thing, general change, and Capcom, like I said, is always working on the hitboxes and hurtboxes for the game and trying to make things more consistent. What they did in general in this patch is they made a lot of the hitboxes go more inward, so behind your character. And the reason for this is there's a lot of circumstances where you'll hit a normal that is so close to the opponent that it will literally go through them. It'll go through their body because their hitbox is stretching out. This happens a lot when someone's crossing you up and you're crouching, or when someone just dashes in, or, you know, people with weird hurt boxes on certain normals. There are a lot of circumstances where this will happen, and this is just basically to make things more consistent. Capcom was always working on this with every single patch in the game. So let me just briefly go through the notes really quickly, just to give you guys a little tease on what's happening. I noticed that they buffed Ryu's V-Skill 2, which is one of the worst V-Skills 2 after we saw it in action. So I really want to test this out. One of the really cool things is it says, the first successful hit now causes the opponent to fall to their knees. Like hitting them with a crush counter causes a crumple. So that's very interesting. I feel like that's going to be good for Dalsum or Menad or characters like Poison characters where you counter them and they're really, really far away. And I hope that we can get some more combo opportunity. So Ryu, we definitely have to test right away. Did they buff Chun-Li's V-Skill too? Extended the hitbox forward. Ground collision is now detected 1 frame earlier. Interesting. Doesn't seem too big. Nash, who cares about Nash? Bison, let's see here. Increase pushback on block on V-Skill 2. Let's see. Birdie, they did a little buff as well because Birdie got hit really, really hard. Birdie, his V-Skill 2, he can be cancelled from EX Bullhead or Bullhorn. So hopefully they made some setups there. On that, right? Like I said, we're not going to go through any of these. I just want to briefly check. The biggest thing, too, guys, is the nerfs. I know you guys care more about the nerfs than the buffs. Rashid got some big nerfs, man. This is like, you guys know how like everyone complained about Rashid being unscathed in the latest patch for Champion Edition? Well, he didn't get unscathed, man. They made some big nerfs. His EX spinning mixer, they made him have more recovery on it, so he loses Oki on it, and if you block his EX spinning mixer, you will get a neutral jumping punish on Rashid. So he's going to get sent to the next dimension for doing a reversal, and you successfully block it. This is like 10 frame nerf on recovery, guys. So that's pretty nuts. And another thing too is the whirlwind shot. It says extended the hurt box sideways during the move. And what this does is, you know how Capcom's like, hey man, if Rashid does some fake block string into his whirlwind shot, you can just hit him in between that. However, they didn't anticipate Rashid being on the other side of the damn stage, canceling it from crouching heavy punch. But this hurt box is so wide, guys, that even if Rashid is super far away when he cancels into his whirlwind shot, you can hit him with a jab. His hurt box is that damn wide. Okay? So they made Rashid super thick when he does his whirlwind shot. So hopefully the madness will finally end on that shit. So I can't wait to go over that as well. Caddying, who cares about caddying? What other thing is notable in here? Alex was interesting. V-Skill 2, they buffed it. They made it so he can now cancel to his EX moves. And they buffed Lariat. Buff Lariat, guys. They actually buff Lariat. They're like, man, you know what? It's another patch, another opportunity to buff Lariat. And now extended downward. I guess it hits people easier when they're crouching, when they're closer to you. Because, you know, why the hell not? It's Alex. We gotta keep buffing that damn Lariat, man. It still doesn't reflect projectiles, but I think we're one patch away from it. The EX is interesting, but honestly, I don't think that's what the problem with V-Skill 2 is. It's not damage or what you can cancel into. The problem with V-Skill 2 is simply the fact that you lose it when you get hit, which is stupid. I think once you get that charge, you should keep it. And yeah. The EX Stampede is pretty strong, though, because I think that means that no matter what now with Alex, you'll be able to combo into a hard knockdown with Alex, which is nice, because that's one of his biggest weaknesses, actually, is Oki. Guile got some nerfs. Last second nerfs. I think it's finally time for Daigo to switch the cage. So we should see what happens with that. They add a lot of recovery and stuff to his V-Skill Sonic Boom. I'm sure Mir is on the loose here, working on that video as we speak. Probably licking his lips. Let's see here. Ibuki. Did Ibuki get nerfed or buffed? Her V-Skill 2 can now be stopped with an attack in the interval between startup and landing. Dang. So that means you can interrupt her finally? And the thing doesn't hit the floor? I hope that's a nerf. Wow! Balrog with those inward hitbox. Yikes. Jury... Who cares what this... What do they do with Jury, actually? Charge reduced by 3 frames? Oh my god, Jury. This... I'm surprised it didn't just say remove from the game and it's considered a buff. Just remove this character from the damn game, Capcom. You don't have to waste your time with this shit. V-Skill 2 with Akuma. I'm really excited to see this. I really hope this is a buff because I see a lot of damage and stun nerfs. And I'm going to assume that's because you can combo to a lot of shit. It says by inputting a command at the right time while holding the move, you can now strengthen the V-Skill. What the hell does that even mean? So I'm interested to see if you do the V-Skill and throw a fireball, does this become insane? What is this? Curious. Colleen, I hope I never see that character again. Ed's already godlike. Abigail got this doesn't look big for Abigail, but Abigail is one of the most nerfed characters in this patch by far. They all that running, where Abigail runs and hits you 4 times, it brings you to the corner, even if you're in the other corner of the stage. They nerfed that shit. I don't know why they ever had it in the game in the first place. And this crouching light kick was a huge nerf for Abigail. It really hurt his pressure and his light confirms. I think there's something else that they nerfed with Abigail, but it's not actually in these notes because I know his triple light confirm is also nerfed as well. So I don't know why. But yeah, like I said, guys, we'll go through these notes in much more detail and in training mode, and I'll show you guys exactly what changed. I mean, what else do I got to do for Street Fighter? There's no other content. But I am happy that Capcom did patch the game. But I'm also surprised because, I mean, what do you guys think? If it wasn't for this whole virus thing going on right now, would have Capcom still released this balance patch at this time? mid-tourneys, you know? I know there's a lot of complaining about certain characters like Rashid, right? And Abigail. Even I complain about Abigail myself and Ibuki. But there's no tournaments. There's no majors to actually see which characters are dominating. Guile never got a chance to abuse those V-Skill 2s. You know, we never got a chance to see any of this in tournaments. So it's very interesting that Capcom did a balance patch. Though I do think a balance patch is great just for the fact to make people want to keep playing the game and check out what's fresh with the game and all that stuff. But we'll see what it is. But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on what's going on Street Fighter 5 in the future. And I'll hit you guys up next time with those balance patches. So yeah. Alright, stream. Say goodbye to YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube.